Hi, I'm Aurijit from Bizwin, and today we are going to cover a topic which is very interesting and exciting. What is value? Now, it's very, if you ask anyone to define value, there can be several definitions. So before we go into a formal definition, let me give you a quick expansion of the word value. And there's a short story here actually. About 15 years back, I was flying from Toronto to Halifax in Canada, and I was sitting next to a very senior gentleman whom I later found out to be the CEO of a manufacturing company in Canada. And so we were talking about business and all, and he defined value in a very, very interesting way. He said value is nothing but whatever is valuable, attractive, legal, useful and economic. So that is how value should be defined. And now let's come to a little more detailed and technical definition of value. So as in Bizwin, this is how we define value. It's a ratio between benefits and cost and harm. So in the numerator we have benefits, in the denominator we have cost plus harm. Now the element of harm is something which is maybe new to you. You may have referred to books, literature where you have seen value being defined as a ratio between benefits to cost, but we strongly believe an element of harm is also very important while we are defining the value. Now let's expand each of this and understand what we mean by benefits, what we mean by cost, what we mean by harm. If you see on the slide, what we mean by benefits is the totality of the benefits which a customer or the user would gain by buying and using this product or service. That includes the functional benefits, the technical benefits, the emotional benefits, image benefits, societal benefits and so on and so forth. So on the numerator, we are considering all aspects and dimensions of benefits which a customer will gain by purchasing this product or service. In the denominator, we have the cost. The cost is again the total cost of ownership, including the monetary cost, the energy cost, the time cost, the psychic cost, everything. And when we say harm, is that if the product is purchased, is there any adverse effect? For example, we purchase mobile, everything is fine, but the harm can be in radiation. So the harm element has to be as minimum as possible. That is direct harm and indirect harm. So once again, for just a quick recapitulation, value is the ratio of benefits in the numerator to cost plus harm. Now we have also represented value in this three-dimensional diagram. As you can see, three axes, X, Y and Z. Just to give you a more clarity in understanding the concept of value. And value is maximized where benefits is maximized, cost is optimized and harm is minimized. So there is also, you can see a benchmark mark on this diagram just to represent how you can move around these three axes to optimize the value of any product, solution or service that you are selling. I would also like to kind of introduce the Kano concept here. Typically what happens is in any product or services, there are two aspects and we have plotted these two aspects in X and Y axis. We call it fulfillment of need and customer satisfaction. So we have plotted fulfillment of need in the X-axis and customer satisfaction in the Y-axis. And typically, there are products, solutions whose features, functionalities may be linear in relationship. Meaning, the more you add, more the customer satisfaction. Now then there are certain features and functionalities which are taken for granted by the customer. Meaning, even if you add, there is no change in the customer satisfaction. We call them the must-have features and functionalities. So when you are designing the value for your product or the solution or a service, and you are considering each and every element in terms of features, functionality, service, support, you have to consider it from the two dimensions or two aspects. One is the fulfillment of the need and the other is the customer satisfaction. It will be a combination of three categories of elements. Number one, must have, meaning which the customer expects anyway. Number two can be linear satisfied, meaning if you put it, the customer becomes happy. The more you have the customer, you put it, the more the customer will be happy. And the third can be a delighter. Delighter means the customer is not expecting it at all. You add that to delight the customer. Now there is a caveat here. Delighter typically comes with a cost. So when we recommend when we are providing the consulting inputs to our clients, we ask them to be very, very careful in designing the delighter and incorporate it in the value description of the product, because it comes at a cost, and we strongly believe delighter should be used only to enable a strategic and sustainable deal or a relationship. So this is how we define value. Now, one thing we have to understand, which is there in the slide. Now, the degree of value assumes most significant when it is compared to or against with a known reference. Meaning, how do I know this is valuable to me? Because I have a known reference, and when I compare to that or compare against it, I know whether I'm getting value out of this. For example, I'm buying a product from you. How do I know it is valuable to me? Maybe I have used similar products before, and your product is giving higher performance relevant to my need and relevant to my previous experience. So this is what it means by when we say value assumes significance when it's compared to or against a known reference. If you need any help, any hand-holding, our contact information is there at the bottom, and we'll be happy to help you, happy to handhold you, and delve deeper into each aspect of the elements that we discussed today. Once again, thank you very much, and you have a great day. Thanks a lot.